person. The cabin, it was perfect.
Oh my God.
It was a nice house in the suburbs.
You look really nice today.
There was a couple of deaths.
Which one? Every instinct I had was telling me to run out of that house. I moved to New Mexico 2 weeks after I graduated from nursing school. I had signed up with an employment agency, and they called me the next day saying that they had a new job opening, and it all happened so fast. I had never even met the people, but they wanted a live-in healthcare nurse for their elderly mother. I didn't know my way around the area very well, and I was running late for my first day, and I was really stressed about it. It was a nice house in the suburbs just outside of Santa Fe.
You're late.
There was just really bad traffic, and
I was 15 minutes late, and I could tell my new employer, John, was not happy about it. He was a little odd, but he was my new boss, so I just went with it.
This is my mother, Mary. Mom, this is Claire.
I'd seen a lot of really horrible things in nursing school, but no one like Mary. It was like she was frozen. She couldn't even blink. It was pretty terrifying.
hello, Mary.
She can't hear you. Well, they don't think she can hear you. They think she had a stroke a while back, but nobody really knows for sure.
Can she move?
Not unless you move her. Here are all the instructions for her care.
There was this weird coldness to John, like he had done this 100 times before. The perfect list of do's and don'ts, emergency contacts in alphabetical order.
I'll be back next Tuesday.
So it's just me for the week.
Is that a problem?
I was a total stranger to this guy, but he was perfectly fine leaving me alone with his mother for a week. Who does that?
Wait, do you have any other relatives?
My father died when I was a child. Everyone else is 80 or in Alaska.
It was my first real nursing job, and I just wanted to get everything right. But he just wanted to get out the door.
Will I be able to get in touch with you?
I'll be at a tech conference in Albuquerque. My phone will be off during the day, but I'll check my messages.
Then he said something they don't prepare you for in nursing school.
This house, it's got its own energy, you know?
I don't really believe in that sort of stuff.
That's good. The last nurse, she was a bit unstable. I don't want to have to deal with that again.
He was paying me really well. I had student loans, bills, I needed a new car. I had a bad feeling about the whole thing, but what choice did I have? It was a job. Most of my stuff was in storage, so I didn't have much to unpack, but I was still looking forward to getting settled in my new room. I had no idea how she got there. I just figured she rolled. But how did she roll through the living room with all the furniture there? Mary needed a lot of special care.
Hi, Mary. How are you today?
Like putting drops in her eyes every hour.
You're really nice today.
I really tried to treat her like any other patient,
I love this shirt on you. That's a great color.
even if the conversation was a little one-sided.
What's this?
I noticed her hand was clenched tight in a fist. So tight, it was bleeding. Her grip was unbelievable. I couldn't get her hand open. Then suddenly, she just let go. It was a crucifix. I was trying to figure out how it got in her hand when I noticed something else under the bed. There was this old wooden box. I don't usually snoop through other people's things, but there was just something about it. I had to look inside.
Mary, is this your husband? I'm gonna put him right here so you can see him.
I suddenly got a weird chill. Like there was someone else in the room with us. And I swore I could hear whispers. I was alone in a strange house with this catatonic woman, and I just thought, maybe it's my imagination. John was right. The house definitely had an odd feeling to it. But the first time I took out the garbage, I realized the garage was even worse. I had been in there for just a few seconds when I heard the voices again. I was sure I saw a man's face, just for a split second. But I was tired and it was dark, so I couldn't be positive.
Hello?
I just wanted to get out of there, but I couldn't see a thing. I was trained as a nurse, so I always tried to find a scientific reason for everything. But I was terrified, and I couldn't come up with an explanation for whatever was happening in that house. I wasn't supposed to have friends over, but after that, I couldn't be alone there for one more day. So I called my friend Tyler.
It doesn't weird you out?
No?
I've worked with patients in vegetative states before, and this woman, I've never seen anything like it. It's like she was trapped inside of her own body.
Can she even hear you?
I have no idea.
Tyler's naturally nosy, so it didn't take him long to start going through Mary's things.
Hey, put that back.
I just want to take a look.
It was just an old cigar box full of old papers and photos. I was just trying to pass the time.
He pulls out what looks like a journal.
Oh my God. You have to look at this.
Every page was covered with the same word, guilty, over and over and over again. It gave me the chills.
What do you think that's all about?
It's really not our business.
Guilty? What are you guilty about?
Just froze and stared at each other. Two medical professionals, afraid to admit that they were scared of an old lady in a coma.
I'll go get something to clean that up.
But the truth is, the vase was in the center of the nightstand, and we were nowhere near it when it flew off the nightstand.
Mary, Mary, what did you do?
I've been working in hospitals for 12 years, and I've never seen an IV stand fall over on its own. I wanted to get the hell out of that room, but I couldn't just leave the IV bag sitting on the floor. It was a hand. I could feel the individual fingers on my back. It was really cold. But Mary hadn't moved. Mary never moved. I know what I felt. I'm not crazy. There was something in that house.
Call him.
Tyler was completely freaked out.
What am I gonna say?
He wanted me to call Mary's son, who was out of town.
I'm gonna sound crazy.
I don't know. Just tell him that you're uncomfortable. Anything. Call him.
I felt like an idiot, but he was right. We had no explanation for what was happening in that house.
Voicemail. John, it's Claire. If you could give me a call back, it's kind of important. Mary's fine. Well, give me a call back.
I don't like this. I think we should get out of here right now.
I can't leave her.
I didn't say you had to leave her. You can take her with us. We can go to my place. We can stay at my place tonight.
No, he hired me to take care of her here. I'm staying here.
This is just too creepy. I don't like knowing that you guys are here.
I don't care. I'm not leaving.
Okay, whatever. I gotta go to work. If anything happens, please call me, okay?
I didn't want to leave her, but she insisted on staying, so I really had no choice.
Every instinct I had was telling me to run out of that house. But what was I supposed to do? She was my patient. It was getting late, so I checked Mary's heart monitor and IV one last time. That room completely creeped me out. But having another human being close by, even Mary, was better than being alone. So I sat in the chair next to Mary's bed to rest my eyes. But something wasn't right. I couldn't move. I could feel a needle in my arm. I could see the heart monitor. And then I saw Mary staring back at me. I knew I was dreaming, but I couldn't snap out of it. It all felt so real, and it felt terrifying. I felt like I was coming unraveled. So I tried calling Tyler.
Hey, Tyler, it's Claire. I was just wondering if maybe you could come back over as soon as your shift's over. I just, I don't know, I'm getting a little freaked out. And, things are just getting kind of weird here, so... Yeah, if you could just come back when you're ready, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.
And then I called John. But I got his voicemail again.
Hey, John, it's Claire. If you could please call me back as soon as possible. Mary's fine. I really need some more information, about what you were talking about, the house. So, if you could just give me a call back, that'd be great.
I thought I would take a long hot shower and go right to bed. I thought I saw something through the shower glass. I saw that hand on that shower glass perfectly. I didn't have soap in my eyes. I don't wear contacts. I wasn't imagining it. It took a while, but after what felt like an hour, I finally had the courage to step out of the shower. The bloody face in the garage, the falling shelf, the broken vase, and now that hand on the shower door, I couldn't lie to myself anymore. That house was haunted. It took everything I had to step out of the shower, but I knew I had to check on Mary. Then I saw that box, and I thought, somehow it must have something to do with all of this. I needed to look inside. I needed to know who was guilty and of what. Under the journal was an old article about a woman accused of killing her husband. She was acquitted. The woman in the article was Mary. I started paging through the journal, hoping to find something else that might explain what was happening in that house. In the very back was a journal entry from 1987. It read, "The verdict came back. It was not guilty. I'm going to burn in hell. I have to tell someone, but I can't. So I guess I'll just write it here, or John will find it after I'm dead."
Mary! Mary!
He was under the car, screaming my name, asking for a wrench or something. I was so scared I would make another mistake, make him mad at me again. Mad enough to beat me like last time. I got nervous and confused. I couldn't breathe. I just wanted him to stop. I just wanted it all to stop. I ran out of the garage and called the police. I did it. I'm guilty. I'm a murderer. I started hearing the whispers again. They seemed to be getting louder and louder. Like they were somehow coming from inside her. Mary was still yelling the word guilty when I ran. I was still in my bathrobe and slippers, but I didn't care. I jumped in my car and was about to pull out when I heard this horrible thud. It looked like Mary's dead husband with blood streaming down his head. I stomped on the gas pedal and drove as fast as I could. I got about 3 blocks from the house before I had the courage to look back. I left my car and never went back to get it. When I spoke to the home healthcare agent, she told me I was the 13th nurse in 15 weeks. 13 nurses. I didn't imagine it, any of it.
Where are we going?
It's a surprise. I'm not going to tell you.
Kevin and I had been together about 2 years when he told me he was going to take me away to a cabin for the weekend, but he wouldn't tell me where. Oh, come on, Kevin, we've been driving forever. Where are we going?
If I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Jess was, she was always teasing me about never, do anything spontaneous. So one day I just jumped online and I found what seemed like the perfect weekend getaway. We both really loved the outdoors, so, it seemed like a great idea at the time.
We were both just so excited to get out of the city. No computers, no cell phones, no one but the two of us, just out in the middle of nowhere. Woo!
This is it.
It's good to finally be here.
I know. Oh, wow! Look at it! It's awesome!
In person, the cabin was even better than the website photos.
This is exactly what I need right now. Oh, and hey, I wanted to give you something.
Kevin pulls this box out of his pocket, and I'm thinking, oh God, this is it.
I was gonna wait and do it later, but I think I should just do it now.
It was a key.
I bought this place for us.
So much for saving for a ring.
We can come here whenever we want. It's like, it's ours. I got it cheap too. You're not gonna believe the deal I got on this place. This place was so cheap.
Yeah, I was pretty mad that Kevin didn't talk to me before buying something like that. But I guess it was my fault for telling him to be more impulsive.
Whoa, all right.
Then I noticed something on a tree near the front door. There were these really long gouges, like slash marks. Like really deep slash marks.
Okay, now what do you think?
Smaller than I thought.
It's a little small, sure, but it's
It was great inside, It needed a little cleaning up, but it was perfect.
It's gonna be perfect.
It needs paint.
Yeah, it needs paint.
It needs furniture.
We'll fix a few things.
It's cold in here.
Did you see the backyard? It goes all the way up. I mean, it just keeps going. All of that is ours. All of it. God, I love it.
It needed a lot of work.
What's with all the crosses?
There were crosses on every wall.
Can I take these down?
The crosses? Sure,
Yes.
I don't care.
Jess's folks are they're kind of hardcore religious. She often refers to herself as a recovering Catholic.
This is not decoration, really. I'm getting rid of them.
Well,
I don't know why anyone would want so many of those things in their home, but it was our place now. I'm about to walk back inside. And there are those marks again, on another tree. 3 deep gouges, just like the others.
Oh, you scared me.
what are you?
I was just looking around. You startled me.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, well, why don't we go pop this and have a little celebration?
That sounds nice.
Yeah? Let's go, come on.
We thought it was going to be the best weekend of our lives.
All right.
There we
Second
go.
bottle.
A bottle and a half of champagne later, we were feeling pretty good.
You want to cook something?
Can you bring the deck of cards?
We were drinking and talking, and Jess, as usual, was eating dry cereal for dinner.
My cereal was crawling with bugs.
Bugs in her food.
Are you okay?
It was like Jess's worst nightmare had come true.
I knew those weren't in there when we were driving to the cabin. I mean, how can that happen in just a couple of hours?
Are you okay?
I felt awful for her. I was just hoping that we could just forget about it and just enjoy the rest of our night.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
It's weird.
All of the candles had been stacked in this perfect little pyramid.
Did you do that?
No.
What is going on? Did you do that?
No.
That's not funny.
I didn't do that.
Someone or something had stacked those candles on the table.
What is going on?
I have no idea.
I was trying to hide from Jess just, how freaked out I was. Especially she was already panicked. I just tried to pretend like nothing had happened.
I knew what he was doing. He was ignoring what had just happened. And I was too scared to do anything else, so I just went along with it. We should have left then.
I wanted to take Jess's mind off the candles, so I pulled out a deck of cards.
Jacks.
Take a hike. Now that I actually know how to play this game,
Is that how that works?
I think so, isn't it?
All right. Well, you were cheating.
I wasn't cheating. Fine, you know what? Wipe the slate clean. What?
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
You didn't hear that? Or something outside? Can you go look?
Really? Okay.
Please?
Yeah.
And then come right back.
I didn't hear a thing, but, Jess was scared, so I headed outside to take a look.
Just don't look at my cards.
I'm not gonna look at your cards.
I grew up in the city, and I couldn't believe how dark it was out there. I mean, it was pitch black. I'd never seen anywhere so dark. The crickets were so loud. I couldn't hear anything else. But then I heard something. It sounded like a low growl coming from the bushes.
I definitely heard something on the roof. And it was like it was leaping. It wasn't crawling or walking. It's like it was here 1 second, and then the next, it was way over there.
Kevin?
All I had was a flashlight, you know, which was a stupid move, but I just wanted to find out what was making that growling sound. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. I'd never experienced anything like that before. It was total dead silence.
Where were you? I've been calling for you.
Sorry, I was outside. I was looking for whatever was making that noise, but I didn't find anything. But the weirdest thing...
It was the loudest thing I'd ever heard.
We could feel the cabin shaking like it was gonna collapse.
I think it's gone.
And then 5 more. The fear, I can't even describe it.
I want to go home.
I know, me too.
What could do something like that? What's that big, you know, that violent?
We have to wait till it's light out.
There was no way I was walking back outside.
Stay still.
We boarded up the windows with a bunch of old wood that we found. We didn't know if it would work, but we didn't know what else to do.
Hey, honey. Something I didn't tell you about this place.
I hadn't told her everything about the cabin.
There's a reason why I got it as cheap as I did.
Yeah? What didn't you tell me?
There's a reason why I got it as cheap as I did. There was a couple of deaths here.
Deaths. 2 days earlier, I probably wouldn't have cared so much.
Yeah, look, a couple of people were murdered. It was like 15 years ago. I don't know who, I don't know how.
I would have thought it was creepy, but I was never very superstitious.
Honey, I'm so sorry.
Why wouldn't you tell me?
Honey, I'm so sorry.
I never thought a place could be haunted. Until that weekend.
For some reason, the living room floor just seemed to be like the safest place to be.
We were fighting to keep our eyes open, but we were exhausted. At first, there were like small scratching sounds on the door. Then tapping. Then pounding.
I knew with that board loose, it was going to be easy to open the door. I needed to wedge the board back up against the door. Then I grabbed the only weapon I had.
Kevin flew backwards across the cabin. And when I looked up, all of the crosses were back, but were turned upside down. I was looking right at them when... And I knew that whatever this thing was, it was already inside with us. Then the pounding started again. Only it was even louder than last time. I was in shock. I couldn't move. All I could do was just close my eyes and pray. And then everything just stopped.
It was all a blur to me.
Are you okay?
There was no way we were walking that. I mean, especially in the middle of the night. We were stuck.
We tried to stay awake all night, but that didn't last. When we woke up in the morning, it was so beautiful that, for a second, I thought that what had happened last night was just an awful nightmare. But it wasn't.
My back hurts.
Let me look.
What? What is it? What?
3 long, deep gashes in his back, like claw marks.
Jess, what's on my back?
Right through the cross tattoo that he had gotten on his 18th birthday.
Are you hurt?
Jess, what is it?
I'd seen those before on the trees outside. But how could an animal that big get inside the cabin without us knowing about it?
Let's go!
What?
What are those?
There were these tracks, like, I'd never seen before.
And it looked like whatever had left them there had 3 toes and 3 really long claws. Just like the marks on the trees and the gouges on Kevin's back.
Look at the size of that. Just go get in the car.
They looked like they circled the entire cabin all the way around.
What the hell is this?
And they were definitely not human. I never told Jess this, but about 3 years later, I drove by that place in the middle of the day. There was nothing but rocks and ashes. It burned down. Or someone burned it down. We still own the land. It's the only way to make sure that no one ever built there again.